Hello, everyone. Hello, Mr. Makobura, and hello Tume. Wacha nijisalimie. Habari gani?
Uh, Habari gani? Normally, if you start speaking in Swahili, you
I
kind of
throw you.
confuse.
I throw you off the balance.
Yeah, so
Uh,
niko salama,
uh,
nashukuru.
uh,
Mambo yako shwari,
uh, uh,
nashukuru.
sorry. I think there's a problem. Okay. All right. I think there was one of my speakers was on. And I'm sorry. So you say if I speak in Kiswahili, I usually throw you off the balance.
Not really, especially when you start speaking Swahili.
Uh-huh.
I think I think I don't know why I'm a Kenyan, yeah,
Yeah.
but it seems to me that whenever someone wants to speak to me in Kiswahili,
Uh,
they have to alert me first so that nitafute zile Kiswahili zote zile nimeweka za Christmas nizilete karibu
uh,
ndiposa
kwani
nizikakamue kuizungumza kwa ufasaha na ufasihi.
kwani Kiswahili huwa kuna mahali unaziweka ambapo unasema labda saizi utajuaje mtu atakuuliza swali kama haya, ama hii ndio swali mtu anaweza kuuliza alafu uende uchukue hizo nini?
That is the challenge. So you have to alert me so that I
Mm,
take the key, I go nifungue hiyo mahali ambayo nimeziweka,
mm,
nizitoe ndo nikuje nazo
ehe.
nizi ndo niizungumuze.
Okay, asante. Lakini siku yako imekuwa aje?
Siku yangu imekuwa vyema,
Mm,
kupambana hapa na pale,
okay.
ambayo ni hali ya maisha ya kila siku.
Hiyo ni unajua, kuna siku hata tulikuwa tunazungumza hapa na wewe nikakwambia, um, ukizaliwa dunia hii na kuna miaka ambayo ikifika itabidi upambane, ya labda unalisha familia ama kulisha wadogo wako ama kulisha pia na mama labda na bibi pia kama uko na familia. So ni jambo la kawaida sana. Saa itabidi pia mapambano unapambana kwa njia gani ama njia gani unaitumia kutafuta pesa ama riziki. Yeah, so thank you so much Makobura for coming in. We did have an issue with the technology because we're supposed to be having an MCA from Kisumu. We just wanted to know what was happening because the president is spending time in Kisumu today. He arrived there in this evening, and we just wanted to know the reception and how the Kisumu was immediately landed at the airport. But unfortunately, our technology could not allow us. But we are still organizing. If things work well, he might still come on the show. So we are still working on that. That is one. Thirdly, it's, again, Makobura, we know there was a court order that was there temporarily, especially for the Kupet, that they should go back to school. But I saw the Kupet saying the strike is still on, and majority of the students have gone to school. We hope and we believe that in the near future, they will reach an agreement with the government so that the learning can continue as usual, especially for those who are going to sit for KCSE and KCPE, so that they can have good time so that they can do well in their examination. That is also is there. Today mambo ilikuwa imewaka kule Migori. Rais William Samoei Ruto alitembelea watu wa Nyanza. Unajua katika siku 4 mkoani Nyanza akifanya ziara ya maendeleo, na mambo kulikuwa kumechacha huko sana. Tuliona tutacheza baadhi ya kanda ambapo walikuwa huko Migori kabla tujaanza kuingia katika mada ya leo. Kwanza kabisa ningependa kuchukua hii fursa kukaribisha sana mwenzangu Gitonga. Gitonga, uko aje? Na utuambie maisha iko aje na wewe, na pia tusikize maisha yako iko vipi. Hiyo ndio tunataka kujua, wale ambao wanatusupport, maisha yao iko vipi na wanatuzamia wakiwa wapi. Asante sana Bwana Gitonga kwa kukuja na sisi katika kipindi. Makobura, tujaendelea, naweza cheza hiyo kanda ya video tuone venye mambo ilikuwa imechacha. Yes, ndio tujue mambo ilikuwa na mina gani huko mjini kwetu Migori.
The Republic of Kenya. Jameni watu wa Migori, hiyo ndio kazi. Mimi nimekuja Migori hii, mimi nawauliza na nawauliza kwa unyenyekevu. Migori, tunaelewana? Mimi nawauliza kwa unyenyekevu. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba tuwache siasa ya ukabila, tuwache siasa ya mirengo, tuwache siasa ya kubaguana, tuwache siasa ya kubaguana na kutenganisha wananchi. Mimi nimekuja kwenu watu wa Migori kuwauliza, jameni, juzi mumeona nimeunda serikali ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Mimi nawauliza watu wa Migori, jameni, munakubali tuungane ama munataka tutengane? Tuungane ama tutengane? Munasema tuungane, tuwe kitu kimoja, watu wa taifa moja, with one common destiny, sisi wote kama nchi moja. Hebu nione wanasema tuungane. Jameni watu wa Migori, mimi nauliza nyinyi, munakubali huyu chairman wetu wa zamani wa ODM anaitwa John Mbadi Ng'ong'o awe waziri wetu wa mambo ya finance? Munakubali? Munakubali Opiyo Wandayi ambaye ni waziri wetu sasa wa energy? Munakubali tuungane jameni? Mimi nataka niwaulize, sawa sawa, si munajua mimi na baba tumetoka mbali? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tumetoka mbali ama hatujatoka mbali? Si tumetoka mbali? Mimi nimeamua ya kwamba mimi nitamsaidia baba, kwa sababu yeye ni mzee wetu, kwa sababu tunamheshimu, kwa sababu amechangia demokrasia ya Kenya, kwa sababu ni kiongozi ambaye anajulikana na ako na heshima ya kwamba awe kiongozi wetu wa bara la Afrika. Muliona jana tulikuwa pale, sisi kama Wakenya tumeungana na watu wa jumuiya ya East Africa kutoka kule Uganda, kwenda Tanzania, kwenda Rwanda, kwenda Burundi, kwenda DRC, kwenda mpaka Somalia. Sisi wote mpaka kule Sudan tumekubaliana ya kwamba baba awe mwenyekiti na kiongozi wa bara la Afrika kama chairman wa Africa Union Commission. Watu wa Migori, mnakubali jameni? Mnakubali? Mtamuombea? Hebu nione wanasema tutamuombea baba.
Okay, thank you so much, Makobura. And you there are a lot of, especially from even members of parliament who spoke, whom I did not include into the video that we are playing. And to start with, what is your take on the president's speech and the reception that you saw in Migori County?
Okay, first, I think the president received an enthusiastic reception in Nyanza region today, with a large number of residents turning out to welcome him. His visit notably as it follows the recent appointment of the two allies of ODM leader, of whom, the ones that he mentioned, Honorable John Mbali and Opiyo Wandayi. And again, it is also coming a day after the launch of a campaign for the ODM, the former, is still the ODM leader, the former Premier Raila Odinga. So of course, we expected this as a people, and we know very well that true supporters of Raila Amolo Odinga, anyone who supports Raila Amolo Odinga, they will always welcome him. And we've always seen that over the years, situations where people who have, for some reasons, have differed with Raila, once they come back to their, once they have a negotiation and then something is uniting them, of course, we've seen them being welcomed in the home turf of Raila. So this is something that we expect as a people, especially after the president said that he was coming up with a broad-based government, and we saw close allies of Raila being given positions like the treasury docket and the energy docket, among others. So yeah, but we've also listened to him more of his speech over there. He was trying to convince the people that since he has helped Baba to, since he's helping Baba, he also needs something from them. That is the whole thing. Yeah, I know maybe later we'll get into the specifics of the key points of his speech today.
Okay, thank you so much. And Gitonga is saying wajinga ni sisi. Now, I want to agree with Gitonga on something called wazing. What do you say that wajinga ni sisi? In one way or the other, because at what point did it change and we became so much enthusiastic about the person that just few days ago we were really protesting and wanted to know the accountability of the government that he serves. So that is something that is there. Secondly, the way people came out, and the people came out in large number, and I think this happened because maybe one, those who want to vie for political seats in those areas might have also mobilized the youths to go to those areas so that if the president gives them a chance, they will see how they are loved. Secondly, also, those who are serving currently, who are in those areas, might have also mobilized the young people. But one thing stood out about the president that he said, unataka tuungane na watu wote na huyu Mbali ambayo amesema. Does it mean that as we speak, we are still not united, or what does it mean? Because if to say from what they say about the broad-based government, as they saying it, which means they are pamoja right now, according to the political language, then why again still asking people that munataka tuungane? Unaona?
Yeah, I think that's just a political language that they use to try sway or to change the perception of the people so that they would realign with their political needs. But the issue of broad-based, as they've been talking about it, for me, from where I see it, it is not really broad-based government, because when you look at the appointment that the president made, truly up to now, and the appointment that he just made the other day, it is not a broad-based. It's not an appointment that is uniting the people. It is an appointment that is still considering close allies, his political close allies, and the political close allies, people who had in one way or another supported him. It is not an inclusive government or appointment whereby even people who are coming from regions who have never supported him are given a chance. For example, let's say ODM was among the parties that made Azimio. So far, in Azimio, there's so many parties. But why is it that? Because he had a conversation with the owner of the ODM party. So only the people who are within ODM were given a chance. There is not fairness. There is not a broad-based government. There is a government that is excluding others. If truly they were looking it into and in something as inclusive, then they would have gone out further to look at also other people within these other political parties so that people would see it as something that is inclusive, but not just within the political parties. From where I sit, if the president would have gone for people who are technocrats, people who are not politically active, I think that would have been a good way. And if we go back to the last presidency, the presidency of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, among the top performers of his government were people who are not politically active. The likes of Honorable Fred Okengo Matiang'i, the likes of the late Professor Magoha, among others. These are people who we had never seen them in the political arena, but when they were given an opportunity to serve, they are the people who realigned the dockets like education, and so far we saw a magnificent increase in our management of those sectors, and even how they were operating. So if the president would be telling us about something that is inclusive, he would not have gone for political allies. He would have gone for people who are not politically aligned, people who are technocrats, people who are not going to spend more time politicking or trying to convince the people. Because the moment you give people who are politicking and politicians, of course, most of them they would try to appease the characters of the people and the areas where they come from, and also their political masters. And this is where then we get to a point where there's no sufficient delivery, there's no sufficient work being done with these people because they have so many people to appease, you know.
Okay, thank you very much, Makobura, and we will also look into about the psychophancy. If you look at the skits of those video, or you look at the entire video, or the entire the videos that are coming from Migori, you will see how the change of tune, especially from the politicians who are from that region has gone. Remember, back then, when President Ruto was visiting Nyanza, it was very, very, very much hostile. You know, there was a lot of hostility, and people like Raymond Omolo would get a backlash, you know. And even in any gathering that you will find somebody who is affiliated with the president around that area, it will be very chaotic, especially somebody like Raymond Omolo who would get so much attacked, political attack in his presence, you know, and telling them on how the president is killing our people and how the president does not like, you know, all those kind of things. But today, it is a totally different field, same place with the same people with different script. You see a script where it is a loving environment, that people are coming to receive somebody who has never wronged them according to the script that we were seeing last year. And that one tell you how the politics is. Now, coming to that, and like you could also hear some politicians saying that ever since the government was formed, this is the first time that we are getting the treasury docket as the people of Nyanza, or as the people of Luo Nation. But my question is, will that one change some of the challenges that the people are going through if the policies are not implemented, or leaders are not working so hard, you know, if the corruption is not implemented? Because look at it, even though we say that, okay, we are united under broad-based government, if we are united, how is it changing the life of the people? I think you bear with me that you've gone to some of our hospitals. You know, how is that one going to change the environment at the hospital? How will it be that now Kenyans, those Kenyans who cannot afford, when they go to the hospital, they are going to get medication. When they go to the hospitals, they're not going to line there, because like this is a broad-based government. Then again, looking about on what we are having today, our teachers are on strike. And I heard the president was given a memoranda by a group of people talking about a school, that is just like a place there. That you say that you've told me that there's a place here that do not have a school without teachers. Nipatieni tu dakika siku chache, walimu watakuja hapa. Sasa unashindwa hao walimu watakuja aje? Na kwa saa hizi tunazungumuza, kuna wale ambao wamegoma, wataki kuenda shule kwa sababu hawajapatiwa haki yao. So unajua hizo ndio vitu sasa lazima tuangazie.
Yeah, so I think the most important thing is Kenyan people has a role to play. We have a right to dictate where we want to take this country. We have a right to know or to run it to wherever place we want it to go. So from where I see it, the people of Kenya have not really been very serious when it comes to the appointing or even giving chance to leaders, because the leaders that we've been electing, most of them are true sycophants. They are sycophants to an extent that they don't even remember that they've been elected by the people. They don't even recognize what the people are. They don't even recognize or respect even the constitution. So this issue of sycophancy, they have gotten to a point where they have even sold it to the people, until people sometimes get confused when they come with this propaganda. So people are not able to make the right decision, because if someone, for example, argues that, oh, because you're coming from Nyanza, Mbali was given the post of the cabinet secretary of treasury, that your life is going to change. Those are fallacies. Those are things which do not even make sense, because if Mbali is appointed, he's only going to benefit his wife and his children. It is not going to even benefit his brothers and sisters. So this mentality of someone being appointed and then you start looking at it as someone who is like a savior, it is the wrong thing. And this is what has made these people not perform, because whenever they fail to perform or whenever they do anything that is wrong, they come back to their local areas, and then they start telling people, these people are saying this, they don't want us. So these are the kind of things that we need to come out clearly, the people of Kenya, and then say that these are the things that you're going to get concerned with. These are the terms that you're going to have. These are for example, if someone messes and is given a chance to lead, let them carry their own cross. We should not stand with them just because they're coming from our region or they're from our tribe. This issue of tribalism and sycophancy to our leaders is what is costing us. It is what is leading us to have people who are incompetent, people who do not care, people who cannot deliver. So we need to examine ourselves as a people, and we need to also look at what these leaders have done to us, and then make the right decision when it comes to election. Because it doesn't really make sense that we give a chance to people who do not really respect a citizen that has given them a chance. And again, maybe, what was your last question?
The last question was about how we say that we are very united, but like when you go to some of these, because like there were governors who were speaking over there, and they were not raising the real issues that are affect their people. They were just praising what the president has done, which I agree with them. You can praise, but at the same time, can you have that authority or to ask for the things that affect the people that you lead?
Yeah, they have even forgotten that the young people went for demonstration and some of them were killed. There's no one who's fighting for those who are still within the hospital. Some of them were taken to court. There's no one who is fighting. They have simply forgotten about the citizens who even helped them get to those positions. If we start with John Mbadi, Opiyo Wandayi, among those others, they got those positions courtesy of what the Gen Zs raised. That's a fact. Now they have forgotten that there are people who stood up, there are people who came up and reminded the president that he was not doing the right thing. And out of that, there was a space. And through that space, walipenya wakaingia kwa serikali. So they have simply forgotten. And that is why we try to remind our people, especially the young people, that let us not talk about issues to do with tribalism. Let us not look at our brothers and sisters and say that these are coming from this tribe. Let us not give them a chance. We should analyze the people. We should analyze the people who wants us to give them political chances to lead us. So the youth has a lot to do. And when it comes to nomination, election, the youths have to come out. All those things that they raised while demonstrating, all those people who lost their life fighting for something, they have not been forgotten. So it is upon the youths to ensure that they all come out and wait for the election, so that when the elections come, they will be ready to air their voices and anything that they were saying within the street, because no one really listened to them. So the only chance that is left with them is to come out with their votes and elect people whom they feel are going to change the nation and are going to listen to their demands.
Okay. Thank you so much, Makobura. And in the president's speech, there's also something that really came out. And one of the things he said that yeye na baba wametoka mbali. It is true that at some point in their political life, there's a place they met. And we remember back into the year when the Orange Pentagon was formed, the president was one of the co-principal or one of the principal of the Orange Pentagon, and they know the kind of politics that they do. But when you look at this visit, I'm one person that is very proud of development. I cannot say that the president did the wrong thing by going to launch or to commission some of the projects that he went to do, because I know if they are done well, they will bring changes into the life of the people of Migori or the people or citizens of Kenya who are living in those areas or the dwellers of those areas. But what comes to my mind again, and they say that how sure am I that the projects that have been commissioned and launched are going to take place? Because like you've seen, majority of the projects that were started, you know, almost like many of them have not been started yet. I've not even picked up, and some of them picked up, the money was paid, the contractor left the site, maybe because he was not paid. So they are there stagnant. And we still have new projects that we are launching. Remember, there's some monies that we've paid on the stall projects. We are still paying for some money that we don't know whether these projects are going to. And this one tells you about the priority that the government has. Why should we launch so many projects yet there are those that have stalled? I believe even in Migori County, if I'm not wrong, there are projects that were started earlier that have not picked up with the governors or even with the national government. And it could have been very wise so for us to complete the ones that are there so that we can start new projects. Yeah. So that's also is there. Then another thing that also I noticed in the rally, I saw the 2027 factor playing major role in this tour that the president has, because at the end of the video, if you watch, you say that kuna jambo nitawaambia lakini nitarudi baadaye, si saizi, wacha saizi tukuje tufanye maendeleo. Now even in the way people were thanking him about what he's doing for Raila Odinga, I think he's not doing it for Raila Odinga. Yeah, that is something that should be corrected, because this is the Kenya Republic that is doing it. But because he's the head of state, he's steering it. So I don't think it's him who is doing it. It's the Kenya Republic that is doing it, or the Kenyan government, where he is the head of the government. So I don't think it is very right for him to say that sunaona namsaidia. No, hakuna kusaidia na hapa. Pesa ambayo inaenda kutumika kufanya campaign for that, it will come from the government's coffers. It's going to be a government money.
The problem here is the president knows very well that he had messed the country, and he was actually helped. The person who helped him is Raila Amolo Odinga.
Mm.
So I think from where he sits, he's seeing. He also knows that he's lost ground, especially with the voters who are still youth in their youthful stage.
Mhm.
So he's just trying to get to Raila's backyard to try convince the people, especially the followers of Raila, that he has done something, that he has supported their master, that he has supported their political leader. But in real sense, because if we look at the Mount Kenya region, most people now do not really align or understand the president. That's a fact. And that is why you are seeing so many activists coming from Mount Kenya region trying to remind the people that the president is a liar. You've seen this young man who is walking everywhere trying to educate the people of Kenya, telling them how the president has lied. The people knows that the president lied. That's a fact. And the president is gotten to a point where he's now not safe. So he's trying to get support from the sycophants, true sycophants of Raila Amolo Odinga, of which some of them, of course, will understand it because there are these people who believe that once you help Raila, you've helped them. There are these people who are true sycophants of Raila to an extent that if you say Raila is good, they will always welcome you. So if maybe we try to dwell in this speech of President Ruto, first he was talking about the issue of unity and inclusivity, whereby he was calling for unity among Kenyans, urging leaders and citizens to work together regardless of their political affiliation, of which, as a people, that is what we've demanded, that is what we are expecting. But the problem is he, as the president, is he leading with an example? Is he really uniting the people of Kenya? Is he really talking and doing inclusivity in his government? The truth of the matter is no. If you look at the PSs who are in office, 90% or 85% of them are coming from one region. Is that inclusivity? Is that unity? There's nothing like that. If you even look at the appointment that he just did the other day, among the cabinet secretaries that he had sent home, they have just been elected back. And these people, the people of Kenya, had a problem with them when it comes to Chapter 6, when it comes to their behavior and everything. So, number one thing is the issue of unity and inclusivity that he talked about. He should first lead as an example. Number two, he talked about development initiative, where he highlighted ongoing and future development projects in the region, focusing on infrastructure, health, education improvement. If maybe we talk about number one, focusing on infrastructure, I think we have to say thank you to the former president. He did much when it comes to infrastructure in the Luo Nyanza and also in the Republic of Kenya. Yeah. We appreciate that as a people. But since the president, William Samoei Ruto, got into power, we've never seen him do any infrastructure to do with road. We've never seen him come up with any good health care system. We've never seen him support education improvement. Instead of supporting education improvement, he's actually making it tough. Currently, the teachers are on strike. The teachers have not been listened to. They have not. Their grievances have not been listened to. There is no one who has given them money, and that is why they are demonstrating. The children have gone to school, but there's no one to teach them. So him talking about infrastructure, healthcare, and education improvement is not speaking. He's speaking that, but he's not doing that. He's doing the opposite because the issue of university funding is still a pending issue. It's not been resolved. So many students are still not even aware of what is going to happen to them once they get to the university. Just because the government decided to come up with a system that is not understanding the needs of the people. When we go to number three thing that he talked about, economic empowerment, where he discussed plans to enhance economic opportunity for youths, women, promoting entrepreneurships and job creation. How are you going to do an economic empowerment if you are raising taxes here and there? It is not going to happen. How are you going to empower, enhance economic opportunity for the youths if the tax rate is too high to an extent that some companies are going outside and relocating. You saw the other day this Mobius made in Kenya, the one that makes local vehicles. They closed. If you look at this real story of why they closed, is because the level of high taxes in the Republic of Kenya cannot make them do what is right. So people are even losing jobs in the Republic of Kenya. Instead of creating jobs for the millions of youth who went who went to the street to remind the government that they had a role, they had an MOU in the people. They're not doing that. Number four thing that he talked about is support for local leaders, of which he expressed his commitment to supporting local leaders and the initiative, particularly those aligned with national development goals.
Mhm.
To say something on this, maybe this he can, but he's been he's been we've seen him several times. Of course, at even that point, he said that he was going to support the local politicians to ensure that they finish up their initiative that they started, especially those aligned with the national goals. But the truth is, we've seen him launch roads. Have you seen those roads made? We've seen him launch stadiums. Have you seen those stadiums made? We've seen him launch healthcare. Have you seen them? Mr. Kebasa has been going throughout the country reminding the people, especially when he was doing this. Sometimes he said that he said those things in presence of area member of parliament. So that tells you that the members of parliament who will associate themselves with the president and will work with the president when it comes to launching of these projects, they have to explain to people, because the people will ask them that on this specific day, you came here with the president, where is the road? Where is the healthcare?
Mhm.
Number five thing I think that he talked about was the acknowledgement of political allies, where uh, he acknowledged the recent appointment of allies from the region to his cabinet, signaling a desire for collaboration and representation. Appointing John Mbali to be Cabinet Secretary of Treasury and Opiyo Wandayi does not really solve the political problems in the Republic in Nyanza. The president should know that. Appointing those people has not helped the people of Lolo. Those he has just helped the specific families, the wife and children of those people that he appointed. What we want is a government that is aligned, a leadership that is aligned to an extent that service is going to be delivered to the people.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I would like to to thank the following. Apondi Lino, thank you so much for being here. Bem, this is Miguda, our panelist too. Today he's in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining. You can tell us where you're watching us from. Mr. Tillen also, thank you so much for watching. Makoburu, unajua mimi kuna wakati ambao mimi nilikuwa naona uh, viongozi tu wakiongea wakati rais alikuwepo, na nilistuka sana, yani nilikuwa na uchungu sana sana. Nikasema kwani hawa maviongozi hawa hawana watu ambao wanawakilisha, ambao watoto wao wanajiunga na chuo kikuu? None of them, the ones that were given chance to speak when the president was there, none of the leaders would raise the issue with the model of funding that is for the university. None of the leaders raised these issues, and I'm telling you, this was a perfect time for you even to tell the president, yeah, this is not working. And I told you again, there's something that we need to talk about, and this is what we call the political illiteracy. And by that, what I mean by the political illiteracy, where the few, the minority, thinks for us, thinks for the majority. Just imagine, of all the people who came to receive the president, the voters, none of them even got a chance even to shout or even to carry a placard to say, Mr. President, this is how we feel. It is not very easy on our side. But what I had a crowd behind calling the name of the president, Ruto, Ruto. We are not saying it's bad. It is okay. But at some point, these are opportunities that provide you yourself as a Mwananchi to talk to your president. And that's why sometimes I really, really like the late Magufuli. I really like how he used to, on his way to do the development or to inspect the projects that he was supposed to be inspecting as the head of state, he would always give a chance to common man. He would always go and watch some of his clips. And this was playing a very critical role in where there's some issues that the late Magufuli used to solve them on the spot. Yeah. But that is something that the leaders are not allowing our people to do that, because that is the only opportunity that you can have to speak to your president. But some of them might have been given the money to attend those shows. And what were you told? You go there, present yourself, make noise as you can. You go there. When I'm given opportunity to speak, shout as you can so that the president can know how I do have a large following, or the groups of commanding. You will find it. If you talk from somebody, just we will find somebody from the ground. In all these tours that are going to happen, is a 4-day tour that a president is going to be in the Luo Nyanza, in the Luo counties. I tell you for a fact, there must be mobilization. And in the process of mobilizing, money has to be paid. And this one does not give you opportunity, because the very moment that somebody buys you, you do not have a voice. Because how can you have a voice yet you've been bought by 50 shillings just to come and stand there and shout and say how you love somebody? And this provide for you as a citizen an opportunity for you to even talk to president, to tell the president what you're going through. They can borrow leave. Even Samia Suluhu Hassan is doing that, the president for Tanzania currently. She's doing that. On our way to do the development, on our way to inspect those projects, she finds time to talk to the people. Let the people, kwa Kiswahili tunasema ni kero gani ambazo nyinyi mnapitia hapa, na uambie kwa hoja. Na sisi tofauti yetu ni gani? Ni ile kuimba wimbo ya kumbaya kwa rais kwa kutupatia mawaziri, ni ile kusema kwa sababu rais ametupenda, kwa sababu anakunya kufanya maendeleo. Na ni maendeleo ni jukumu. One of the things, or one of the jobs for president is a unifying factor. That we should not talk about inclusivity just because we've been given the positions. That's not how it should work. We should talk of inclusivity with or without ministerial post or CS position, because the work of the president is, the president work for everybody. You're the president for the nation. Yeah. So if you want inclusivity, if you're saying for us to be inclusive, you have to bring people to the government, then that one equates for you for inclusivity. That is not true. And if you look at even what happened by bringing, forming the broad-based government, the broad-based government, I still believe until today, is not going to solve the issues that Kenyans are raising. The broad-based government was a solution, temporary solution for what was taking place at the moment, but it did not look for a long term. The long term, the broad-based government is not going to save it, because what is going to happen here, people are looking forward for 2027, and that is what is there. If you look at all the tour that the president is going to make, and we said this, remember in the show, immediately the broad-based government was formed, we say the next move that the president is going to do, his calendar will be on Nyanza.
Yeah, and maybe to say something on that, you know what? I think the political class are also not learning. They don't understand the people. They don't.
No, Makobura, sometimes now, I know, sorry for cutting you off. I don't think that the political class are not learning. It's the voters who are not learning. Do you know the reason why I say the voters are not learning? If you go in an area whereby there's a project that was started long time ago and the money has been squandered, especially like there's some areas when you go, the dispensaries, they were supposed to be built, the money was already released, and the contractor, you know what the leaders do, and that did not even pick up. And remember, as a voter, you still come, the same person comes and you still clap. Why do you say that the political class does not? Is it the political class or the voters themselves?
It is both the political class and the voters, because maybe to say on this side of the political class, remember young people went to street, members of parliament ran away from parliament when the young people got to parliament, and the issues that they raised, the members of parliament and the people in leadership, they have not really looked into these issues, they have not solved these issues. So in short, they have, just because something magic has happened and they've gotten out of it, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to remember the reason why they left the parliament. They don't want to remember the fact that the parliament part of it was set on fire. They don't care. It is unfortunate that even the issues that were raised by young people, none of them has looked into it. None of them has even raised them in the parliament so that they look into these issues, because that is their responsibility as members of parliament. Just because Rahela or anyone helped the president, or helped the president do some 1, 2, 3, until the young people forgot the reason why they were going to the. I mean, the young people are destabilized until they got out of the street. That does not mean that the people of Kenya have forgotten the problems that they are going through. The problems are still with them. It is only that they have not, the anger in them have not gotten to a point that they are now going to repulse. It is going to build again. It is going to build again. It is going to build again. And when they are going to repulse, it will be tough now to control. So if I was among this political class, I would take keen observation and try to look into the issues that were raised by the young people and the people of Kenya. Because if you don't solve it today, you might run away with it today. But remember, you've not solved the problems. These problems are still the people are still with them. But the moment they get tired with these things, they're going to get back and they're going to react. The next thing is something else. And this is why we are saying the political class should take the advantage that the young people, the people of Kenya, are now quiet or not in the street. They look into the issues that these people raised and try to rectify one by one. No, because that would then bring back the lost glory that the people have lost with them. If you see the young people or the people of Kenya or the people in Nyanza welcoming the president, it is not that they are happy. They are welcoming him just out of good heart. But the fact is, they're still going through a hard time. They cannot even still afford school fee. Maybe they think that they had done their level best, reminding the president that the cost of living was too high, that the cost of education was too high, that they could not have their lunch or breakfast. But the president did not hear, so they have gotten to a point where they're not reminding him anymore. All they're doing is relaxing and seeing the president promise until that day that something else would anger them. That is when the president would know. I think that's a good an explanation of that, because if you look at some few months to election, the people of Rift Valley, they were very much happy with the president. The people of Central Kenya, they were very much happy with the president. But the moment they got to the presidency of William Samoei Ruto, they then saw the truth. And that is why you are seeing the people of Mount Kenya, most of them have gotten out of it. So it is not that they're forgotten. They have not forgotten. They know him, but they're just waiting for that time.
No, Marco Bura, I tend to disagree with you. When you say the people of especially the area that the president was visiting, that they were just coming out of good heart, that is not true. They're not coming out of good heart. They were coming out because maybe there was a money that was given out. Because remember, one of the things that usually happens, uh, I had it's about money, and like a lot of people do not have jobs. So if you're given 50 shillings, or you're given some money, you will at I'm here with you. We will get this information from the ground at least by tomorrow. I know the president is in Kisumu, and Kisumu, I will give you the full information of what is going to happen. Even if not president himself, but the people, the leaders who want to solidify their base, or the people who want to see to make sure their prowess or the power that they have in those particular areas will have to at least give some money to individual. But I don't think they're coming out that's because they have very good heart now. They're coming out because sometimes we still do not know what we want as the people or as the voters. We still do not know what we want. We are still being guided. Yeah, we are still being guided by our decisions are not I mean, like, our decision, we don't make decisions by ourselves. How would you tell me that I'm going to come out of good heart, yet I cannot afford to pay school fee even for yeah? How can you tell me that when I go to the hospital I cannot even get medication? So will I come out? But what has coming out and not speaking is going to assist, or is going to help for things to change. Yeah. So I think it is high time, the voters, we and let us make it clear, we are not opposing to the projects that the president is going to launch or commission in the region. We are very happy about them, and we thank him for that, for coming to launch those projects, because if those projects picks up, they will create employment for people. They will create employment for the young people coming from those areas. But at the same time, the leadership that is in those areas, they should speak and see on how to solve the challenges. I had uh, the senator from Migori, Honorable Eddie, was telling the president that these young men need jobs. I agree. Yeah, young men need jobs. But if you look, government cannot provide jobs for every person, but there's a way in which government can facilitate the job creation, yeah, by making sure that the investors who are coming into the country, you talked about the tax, by giving them tax cuts. When you give them tax cuts, they're coming to come to the country and they're going to employ more people, you know. And also, I don't know, in most of the government, the government usually have data for those who have graduated and those who have who have been employed, and to know what jobs, like this month, what percentage of jobs were created or how many people were employed, which is not with our government. So to me, what I would want to see, especially when the president will be commissioning those projects, I want to see area member of parliament, area member of MCA, any leader, be it a religious leader, be it who, you are given an opportunity to speak. Speak to president things that are affecting the area where you are. Tell Mr. President, we thank you so much.
I think the Jaycees are doing it quite good. If you see the last day, the president was having a town hall, and there were young people who came out
Yeah.
broadly, and they said that this model of university thing that you're trying to bring does not help. Did you even consult us? We can support you on that. Uh, I think the people who are really going has a high chance of changing the political class in the Republic of Kenya. Young people, the young people have so far they've shown the way. So far, they have been standing with the people, and they've done a good work. So we need to do more sensitization among the young people, because it is the youth, it is us who are really going through a tough life. It is the youth who are not able to get a good education. It is the youth who are not in a position to even get employment. As much as they are learned, as much as some of them have gone to universities, they cannot get the opportunity to learn so that they can earn something to increase or to improve their lifestyle. So it is upon the youth of Republic of Kenya to stay strong. It is upon the youth of Republic of Kenya to remind the leaders, because they say that we are the leaders of tomorrow. Being leaders of tomorrow starts with we standing strong, we reminding the people in leadership the way we've done. At least there are some changes that have come courtesy of the protest that the young people went for. So it is by urge to the young people that they take time and come out strong and protect this country. We are the opposition, the youth are the opposition to the Republic of Kenya, and they have this mandate to ensure that we build this nation. The people who are in leadership so far, as much as they have the constitutional power and everything, but remember, the youth are the majority. So let's come out, young youths, and stand with our country. Let's stand up and remind the people in leadership that we have a role to play as well, and this country belongs to us. We are just interested in making it run better. We are interested in making it look better. We are interested in a country that is inclusive, a country that does widen the gap of tribalism, a country that is united, a country that everyone would feel that they are at home. That is what we should focus on as a people. I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I want to thank Lawrence Odhiambo. Thank you so much for joining us and be part of Brother Benson Media. And here we discuss the issues of our country and good governance. And you can also share your experience with us. You can also join us on the studio. Thank you so much. So,
There's also Callisto Locha.
Callisto.
Callisto Locha should also be welcomed, and let him be part of.
Why mine is not showing? I'm not seeing Callisto. Callisto came before Lawrence.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Maybe there's a problem with me because I'm not seeing Callisto. Callisto, thank you so much. Sorry for my side, I'm not seeing you, but thank you, Makobura, for identifying Mr. Callisto Lucha. Thank you so much for joining. And we were talking about the development that are taking place. And one of the things that really also caught my eyes when you look at the itinerary of the president, there's this issue of homecoming. We talked about it last time. I think there's some of the things that have been passed by events. And Mato Makandets Salimika, Brother Benson, asante sana, my brother, for everything. And you promised to come on the show. We need to host you very soon. There's this also issue of homecoming. If you look at the itinerary of the president, you're seeing there will be homecoming for Mbali at Magunga. And there's also one for Opio and I in Siaya. I think these are some of the things that are passed by event. The other time we were just talking about
because maybe to say something on that. These people are going to spend government money on these functions, and it is so painful that in a situation where teachers are not in school, in a situation where students are in school by themselves, they are not teachers, the government is still going to spend money to welcome or to put a party for someone who has been appointed, someone who is not been seriously. I think as a country we are getting ourselves into wrong. We are getting into wrong things. There are priorities. There are things that we should look into as leaders. They should look into as leaders. They should focus on issues which are affecting the people of Kenya. They should focus on issues that are making the lives of Kenya better. They should not waste a lot of time trying to welcome people who have been in politics for years and years. People, the other day when they were nominated as or elected as members of parliament, they were welcomed. What is the need of this? Were they wasting time? Were they wasting money of public money doing such kind of shares?
And like it's sometimes you sit down as a person and you think there are issues that made even that broad-based government to come in, and I think this could have been the time for us to prove even to the Gen Z that whatever you are asking for, especially the four of us who are experts who have been chosen, they would say like, okay, instead of like having the oncoming issue, you know, let us do something that is very beneficial, because for president to go to even to Mbadi's place, the logistics that comes with it is a lot, because the security has to go there prior before even the president come, because
He
the
has to go with
security.
almost 50 vehicles for one person. That is just the president.
No, leave
And
about
also the deputy
before the
president.
before president. Remember, the security has to go prior for surveillance, because the head of state is going there. And don't think that the security are going without any money. They go with the money.
The vehicles has to be fueled. They have to find places for them to sleep. They have to find hotels for them to eat. Actually, they're going to spend billions of money. These billions of money that they have been spending in these functions, it is enough to ensure to settle the bills that the teachers are saying they need to be given. So I think as a country we've not taken really good consideration when it comes to focusing on serious issues which are affecting us as a country. And this is what we are saying as young people, that the people in leadership should take time to focus on important issues which are affecting the people of Kenya. Instead of them wasting a lot of money uh, trying to appease the people, the political class, they should spend this money to solve the problems which are affecting the people, like the issue of teachers. The money they're going to spend in just one CS compound, or the transportation bill for the president and his entourage, is just enough to pay whatever the teachers are saying demanding for.
Okay, Mr. Mabura, thank you so much. And this we are following this, and I think tomorrow also the president will be in Homa Bay County, and from Homa Bay, I think that's when he will visit Magunga to for the homecoming party for Mr. Mbadi, for CS for a treasury Mbadi. But I think those are some of the things that are passed by event. Like we should think in the new era. We've seen so many leaders who are elected. That homecoming, it doesn't have value. It's just a matter of food, and people come and eat there, and and at the end of the day, people say thank you. But it is a one day thing. But like, if you compare the money that is going to be used to organize for these parties, why can't you take that money, deposit it somewhere, or pay school fee for a total of 20 or 3 people, 20 or more students who are in your location, and that will give you a
Yeah,
good
that is what we are
legacy.
saying.
So
Because
think,
let's say, for
yeah,
example, they're going to spend, let's say, 2 billion in that place. They can. We've seen them spending a lot of money in very useless things. And somebody like Mbadi has been a member of parliament since 2007.
yeah.
Every election he's been celebrating. What is so special about this? And he's been in this position. What is so special? That is, I think we have misplaced. We have misplaced
Priorities.
things, priorities as a country, and it
Mhm.
is so unfortunate that the person who is supposed to be prudent enough when it comes to spending public resources and public money, who is the president, is not really doing that. So as much as sometimes back, I remember you said that we should live within our means, we should reduce the cost. He's not doing that. He's not doing that.
Mhm. Okay, Makobura, thank you so much. And we are still here for tomorrow too. We will be looking at what is taking place in Homa Bay, and we will be looking at the members of parliament who are going to come out and at least talk to the president and tell the president what exactly the people are going through. I would expect to see members of parliament talking about the funding model is not working for us. That is something that I'm expecting to hear from members of parliament. I'm expecting to hear from members of parliament on how the health, on what is happening in the hospital, how we will get the medication. I'm expecting even the public, especially the citizenry, the voters, to tell the president that they are not feeling it. But this idea of coming and clapping, and then the following day you will start complaining, then you don't deserve to be there. But all in all, we really thank President for the projects or the development that he's doing in South Nyanza or in Nyanza, the tour, hopefully they are going to kick off, and the majority of young people around in the area will get jobs, and that is how jobs are created. Jobs, government do not give jobs, government create jobs. So even the member of the senator of of Migori, there's a way in which government cannot provide job for all people, but it can provide job for few. But they should create environment where those jobs can thrive. There are young people who are entrepreneurs, but their business cannot do well due to the conditions that are in place, maybe the taxes and all that. So that's how the employment is created. Not everybody is going to be employed as in the office or in the government. There are people who are employing themselves, but you have to give them a conducive environment for those businesses to thrive. So that is something that also we have to remind our leaders. Let us not always put the pressure on government that you have to fight, you have to give us employment. You cannot employ. The majority of people who are graduating from the university are lot. So many Kenyans are graduating, but there are those who are graduating and very good business oriented. They can start their own business, but the environment, how they can get the capital, that is what we are saying. Make it easy for them, even when you go to the bank, on how they can get these loans, how they go to this out. So that is what I'm talking about. Thank you. Mato is saying no Ruto projects kickoff will be left with very expensive promises. Yeah. And that is what our members of parliament, they are praising right now. We know, because it is a history. It is not something that is very new. Makobura, maybe your last.
Maybe my last remarks to the people of Kenya and those who are watching is, as a people, as citizens of the Republic of Kenya, let us be vigilant, let us be watchful, let us remind the people in power that they have a role to play, and we are here to look and to see what they're doing. We are here to remind them whenever they are getting out of what really they swore they would do. Let us not fear to remind them that they are doing wrong. Let us not fear to speak into their presence, telling them how we fail, because we are human beings. They're also human beings. There's nothing so special about people that we've given chance to lead us. They are just human beings. It is just that majority of them have gotten out of their mind, and they are they're in a what do I say? They're in a race to find a lot of wealth. So they have forgotten the mandate. They have forgotten what took them to leadership. They just want to satisfy themselves. Let us remind these people in leadership that they have a role, they have an MOU with the people, and they have to ensure that they follow that MOU. If they don't follow it, let us come out and remind them. I like what Mr. Kebaso is doing, going out everywhere, trying to remind the people of Kenya that truly these things were done by the president. They have not been actualized. And it is wrong. There's nothing wrong if you go out and tell the people that the president said this and it's not done. We are just reminding him that he should not go out, promise so many things that he cannot do. So let us not be fearful of our leaders. We have to respect them, yes, but this is our country. We have to protect it. We need it. Our children need it. The future needs it. We have to protect it. Few people cannot make it, cannot take us down. We have to stand up and ensure that everything is done the right way. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. And just to inform you, today we're supposed to be having a guest, especially from Kisumu. He's a leader from Kisumu. We wanted to hear from him how the preparation and what are the things that they're putting in place, or issues they're putting in place before the president. And we don't know what happened. Is a technology issue. We sent the link, but the link could not allow him to come to the studio. So we still trying to figure out if it can work. Then tomorrow he will be here on the show and share with us. As a leader, sometimes they have so much information that we don't have, and if not, tomorrow also we will discuss issues. But I'll be watching to see how the leaders are going to behave tomorrow at Homa Bay. But I promise you, nothing is going to be, because they're the same leaders who are there, are the same people who are going to be in Homa Bay, the people who are going to be in Siaya, and they're the same people who are going to be in Kisumu. It's a praise, 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 and nothing else. And Makobura, thank you so much for coming in on a short notice. And again, I would like to thank the following. Mato, thank you so much, my brother, for showing up, and we really appreciate. And everyone who was on the show, like the new Lawrence, thank you so much again for coming up. And Apondi, thank you so much, and may God bless you. As we wind up, kama uko na swali pia unaweza tutuliza hapo kwa comment section, tumalizane nayo before tuende. Asanteni sana, Mungu abariki, na tuonane kesho kwa majaliwa yake Mwenyezi Mungu. Kuweni na usiku njema na usiku bora.